Alrighty guys, so we are back looking at the 8587W that I still got on the mini door, and we got another unboxing video today. You can see we're missing the opener that I usually have set up there. If you're wondering what's going to be taking its place, well, yeah, we have an 87504, brand new. So basically, starting how I got this, a viewer hit me up. He said that he got this opener, he was going to install it in his uncle's garage, and something happened, ended up not working out, and he didn't have a use for it, so he gave me a very good deal on this thing. I figured, why not? You know, it's a good deal, so I'll take it. So, I don't particularly like these openers, but actually having one is going to give me a chance to actually test it out and see how it does. But in general, you know, I don't really like the DC Chamberlains. So anyway, I'm just going to open this up, unbox it, show you the parts, I'll set it up and run it, let you hear it, we'll test it out. So let me set you up on the tripod and then we'll get this thing opened up. So as usual, I'll try to not knock you over. So, don't really like the DC Chamberlains anymore. I don't particularly have high hopes for this one, especially because, make sure I'm opening this on the right end, I don't think it matters. It's been a while since okay, doesn't matter, I guess. I was working on a 980-22 today, brand new, and you know how they've been having issues with the force, and they released a software update that supposedly fixed that issue, but this one would not take the update. So I put a different board in it, and I went to set the limits on it so I could test it, make sure that board was good. Well, the board, I think, was fine. The problem was with the opener itself. When I was setting the limits, set the up limit, it ran up perfectly fine. When I went to set the down limit though, it was working fine for like a couple seconds, and then the shaft where the coupler goes just stopped turning after like a second, and then the motor just went full speed and then it cut out. So there's something wrong straight out of the box with the motor gear assembly, or possibly the shaft at the top that actually drives it. But I'm assuming it's probably the gear. But still, it was a brand new opener, had 4 cycles on it. I don't know if it was that way out of the box or if it ran 4 cycles and then broke. But either way, for a brand new opener to be doing that, yeah. LiftMaster is just not what they used to be. Alright, one more staple. Usually I cut this part out of the video, maybe I should have done that. But then you wouldn't have got to hear my story. Alright, so let's get into this, see what we got. So, yep. And they've got these packed differently now. I think this is the bottom, so it's going to slide out this way. Alright, so you've got your manual and safety labels. Door bracket hasn't changed. I don't know, actually. I think there might be a date on this box. March of 2024, so it's a few months old. There's the header bracket. Hardware bag, which actually they are powder coating some of these bolts and screws again, but I'm still not powder coating the pins or any of that. Roll of wire. Safety sensors, these have not changed. This one with the writing on it is the receiving eye. This one comes with, it's a 267. We've got 2 893 Maxes. See, March 2024. And it comes with your 880 smart control panel. Alright, so take this off, got this plastic here. So here's the bottom of it. You know how LiftMaster's saying, oh, we have metal cases and Chamberlains have plastic cases. Well, yeah, there's metal here and kind of around the sides. Plastic, 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 the whole bottom. Look at that. This piece is loose. That is not. This is already not giving me high hopes, so that's probably going to be making some noise. You've got your camera here, which, just peel this off of there. Since I'll have this setting right side up, I won't actually be using the camera, but it's not like I need it anyway. You cannot rotate these cameras anymore. The reason they changed that is because apparently people were ripping the wires out because they were turning them really fast. It makes sense as to why they changed it, but I mean, I wish they would make a model that doesn't have the camera, because I get the camera if you're going to use like the Amazon key and stuff. But if you're not, then the camera's just a part that costs more money. So, yeah, about that. Alright, let's take this out. Hold up, power cord is wrapped up, I think, on the side here. I have to, hopefully I can figure out how to repack this thing when I put it back in its box. Let's see. I think the power cord's going to be on this side. Yes. Okay. So this whole thing is just going to come out. Alright. So, well, let's get everything else out and then we'll look at the head unit. Sensor brackets, again, these are the new style ones with just the single clip on them. Curved arm hasn't changed. That's your sprocket cover, has not changed. And then let's see, in here we have the 877 LM keypad, and then the battery backup is right here. Just says Chamberlain Group on it instead of LiftMaster. They changed all their batteries to be that way. Let's get this cardboard out of the way and we'll look at the head unit. So here it is. Like I said, there's more plastic on it than the 8550s had. This antenna is kind of not in there. So yeah, they do run the antenna along the top to kind of hide it. It's got a sprocket here. That's actually, it's got some movement up and down to it, but it doesn't necessarily feel loose. These doors, this one has a little bit of movement to it, and this one also has some movement to it. These doors are made pretty cheap. There's plastic doors on this side. Your programming buttons, terminals, learn button, battery LED. And on this side, model 87504R-267MC, March 26, 2024. And this is where your battery goes. There's no door to screw it into. That screws in, just slides right in there. So, yeah. Whoa. As I drop it. So I don't particularly have high hopes for this thing, but I guess we'll find out when I get this thing set up. So I'll set this up, get it all ready, and then we'll get you rolling again here. Okay, so it's all ready here. One thing I am noticing is this case is a little bit darker gray than the 85870 is, but yeah. So anyway, we'll plug this thing in for the very first time. There we are. So the LEDs, they're kind of bright, but I mean they're not as bright as the WLED, of course. WLED was 3,000 lumens, this is 2,000 lumens. They should not have changed that. Anyway, here's the wall button. Let's sync this up. It is synced up already, I guess. Can't run this one right away without setting the limits, just to show you that this is indeed new. 0 cycles on it. So we'll set the limits. Let's see. I have to turn this. Hold up. So we're going to set the limits, and we're going to see how this thing sounds. Battery's charging too. There goes nothing. Alright, we'll do that. Right off the bat, a little bit of vacuum noise to it already. Well, let's hit the force and see how it sounds normally. Yep. Oh. My sensors, what? Oh. Shorting. What? Hold up. I think my sensor wires aren't quite. Hold up. Alright, I gotta try this again. Alright, let's see if the sensors want to work right now. So it has the vacuum noise, as I expected it would, which I don't like. It's not nearly as loud as the B2211 is, but I think it's probably a little louder than this thing is still. So let me set the time on this wall button here. Alright, so I think these remotes should both be pre-programmed. So something's definitely vibrating on it. It might be that piece of plastic on the bottom. And the keypad is not pre-programmed, but we will program it if I can get it open. There we go. That's all it is, just a normal A77LM. Alright. So, keypad now runs it. Yep, just don't like how these sound, honestly. It's just not, they're just not as quiet as they used to be, you know. This one is still, I mean, it's not as loud as the B2211, but still it's definitely not as quiet as I would want it to be. The 8550s were quieter. Alright, we'll give you a battery backup test. I do think it would be nice if these LEDs would actually stay on. Not full brightness necessarily, but, you know, like my linear, it gives a little bit of light. It would be nice if they would do that with this opener, but they don't. So let's see how it runs in battery backup mode. And again, you can hear the way that motor sounds. This one actually does do soft stop compared to the Chamberlain, which does not. So yeah, there it is. I honestly can't really say I'm any more impressed with this one than I have been with any of the other ones that I've seen and tested. I just, yeah, not really the biggest fan of the way these look still. LEDs aren't as bright as the WLEDs were. Yeah. So, anyway, that's it. Just figured I'd make you a video of unboxing this thing. Thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all later.